Magic. Magic is awesome. And it comes in so many different flavors. Whether it be from D&D, Harry Potter, or even Star Wars. And we've all at least once in our life tried to move something using the Force. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. And as a fan of said magic, I have to say, wizards are cool. And Gandalf the Grey is the best. And I am 100% biased on that matter. However, that doesn't mean that there aren't other cool wizards and or sorcerers. Of them there be plenty. And Warhammer is no exception. There are also a lot of different lores to choose from. Lores of different magic, that is. Such as light, life, or today's topic, fire. Fire wizards, or as they are known in Warhammer Fantasy, bright wizards, are the fiery, wild-eyed pyromancers of the Empire. Equal parts battlefield artillery and walking health and safety violation. Fueled by Akshi, the Lord of Fire, they solve most problems by enthusiastically setting them on fire. And if that doesn't work, they simply add more fire. Known for their scorched robes, singed eyebrows, and alarmingly casual attitude towards explosions. Bright Wizards brings blazing spectacle, unrestrained passion, and a touch of chaos to every fight, usually leaving friends and foe alike wondering if things just got a little too hot. And today's wizard is no exception. Sienna Sienna Ferguson is Vermintide's resident bright wizard, which means she specializes in enthusiastic arson. She is the kind of person who sees a room full of Skaven and thinks, great, more things to set on fire. She is cheerful, mischievous, and has the energy of a substitute teacher who knows the school might burn down, but has already emotionally accepted it. Her teammates live on an emotional roller coaster, ranging from admiration, wow, she really roasted that Chaos Warrior, following into concern, is she overheating again? And last but not least, a mild panic. Yes, she's definitely overheating again. But who is this bright wizard? Sienna is an Estalian-born bright wizard, whose magical aptitude manifested early. And by manifested, I mean she accidentally set things on fire before she even knew what fire was. And so she was shipped to the Bright College in Altdorf for training, where professors quickly realized she had immense talent, high enthusiasm, a fondness for flames that is not technically illegal, and a troubling inability to stop. Sienna is the magical equivalent of a gifted kid who immediately becomes bored with rules. Her history includes multiple incidents that the college politely label as educational misadventures, including an explosion in a dormitory kitchen, a controlled bonfire that escaped its control, and the accidental partial immolation of a fellow student. They lived, mostly. Now, even despite all this, she remains cheerful and oddly philosophical, with the vibe of someone who thinks life is a grand, fiery joke, and she's the only one who gets the punchline. And now, in Vermintide, Sienna brings a unique flavor to the five. A unapologetic joy mixed with a total disregard for personal safety. She is humorous, theatrical, and always ready with commentary that ranges from dry wit to gleeful mischief. She sees fire as a companion, a teacher, and the ultimate problem solver. When she talks about flames, she almost sounds like someone reminiscing about an old friend. Sienna is also surprisingly wise, in the way that eccentric uncles are wise. She'll say something profound, but it'll be sandwiched between two jokes about burning rats. But enough with backstory and personality. What are some career options for our walk-in fire hazard? This version of Sienna emphasizes control and elegance. She fights like a dancer with fire as her partner, a painter whose brushstrokes are flame, and a librarian who occasionally explodes. Her fireballs are neat, her flames arc beautifully, and she moves with the theatrical confidence of someone who once took drama classes and burned the stage down. Basically, Battle Wizard Sienna wants to prove Bright Wizard can be dignified. She is about 40% successful. Pyromancer is Sienna at her most unleashed. She is a walking spark, a crit fishing maniac, and a fireworks festival with legs. This Sienna doesn't bother with poetic fire artistry. She goes straight for the scorch everything in a wide radius philosophy. Her joy is palpable, the reckless grin, the delighted cackles, the comments about feeling the wind sing as another Chaos Warrior dissolves into soot. If Battle Wizard is a flamenco dancer, then Pyromancer is a rave glowstick that got too excited. One also play Pyromancer when you wanna prove that the elf ain't the only one who can snipe unseen elites. Unchained Sienna channels power through her physical form, absorbing heat until she becomes a glowing, pressure-soaked magical tinderbox. And I usually call this Sienna if all else fails, because this version of her is tanky, explosive, sweaty in a magical way, and constantly one minor inconvenience from detonating. Her solution to being punched is to heat up more. Her solution to heat build up is to let out small angry firebursts. Her solution to many firebursts is to explode completely. She treats her own fiery instability like a charming personality quirk. Which is cool and all, until you're the one burning. Now, just like Carillian's Sister of the Thorn, I do not own this career choice, so I have less experience with what it's like, but I'll do my best to describe what it feels like to have one on the team. Sienna as a necromancer is basically what happens when someone hands the world's most fire-obsessed wizard a stack of forbidden textbooks that says, "Please don't do anything weird." Instead of incinerating everything in sight, she now cheerfully raises skeletons like they are misbehaving schoolchildren, sending them off to poke the Skaven while she cackles in academic delight. Her undead minions may be brittle, clattery, and questionably reliable, but Sienna treats them like proud science projects, each one a testament to her ability to cause chaos without setting the entire map on fire. In short, same Sienna energy, fewer explosions, more bones. And now, some relationships with the gang. Kruber is the party's emotional anchor, and Sienna appreciates him more than she lets on. And why they work so well together is Kruber is grounded, calm, and practical. A perfect counterbalance to Sienna's fiery chaos. Sienna finds him endlessly amusing because he reacts to magic the way one reacts to a suspiciously large dog. Nervous admiration. And she sees him as a sweet, loyal, a bit slow on the uptake, in a charming way, and emotionally sturdy enough to survive her teasing. He's one of the few people she'll trust to pull her out of a burning building rather than assume she caused it on purpose. Their vibe is basically Chaos Wizard plus Chill Soldier. They're like a chaotic older sister and her patient, slightly confused younger brother. Sienna and Bardin are often the two loudest people in the room, and frequently the most enthusiastic. Bardin loves explosions, Sienna is explosions, and together they form a mutual science experiment the others try desperately to regulate, which is why they click so well. Bardin's dwarven stubbornness fascinates her, and Sienna's magical volatility fascinates him. Their vibe is like gremlin energy times 2. If anyone in the party says, "Don't touch that," you already know these two have touched it. Saltspire's entire belief system says Sienna should be a smoldering pile of witch ash. Sienna thinks that's adorable, and their dynamic is comedy gold for a few reasons. Saltspire sees danger, Sienna sees opportunity. Saltspire sees sin, Sienna sees spies. He is suspicious, judgmental, and always 2 seconds away from shouting heresy. She finds his dramatics delightfully entertaining, and they would absolutely die for each other in combat, but complain the entire time. I see a common thread with these people. Their vibe is like cat and dog, but the cat is on fire and the dog is armed with scripture. Now, Carillion and Sienna share something very important. The smug confidence of skilled chaos agents. Which is why they clash, and yet click. Carillion is snarky and aloof. Sienna is flamboyant and playful. Both believe they are the most interesting person in the room, and neither is entirely wrong. Sienna admires Carillion's skill and mystery, but finds her brooding hilarious. Carillion claims Sienna is overly dramatic, unaware of the irony. And Carillion would never admit it, but she trusts Sienna more than most. Except for maybe Bardin. Their vibe is like two gifted children in the same class who both want to sit closest to the window. Sienna in summary is chaotic but kind, playful but powerful, dangerous but never malicious. She's the friend who always has your back and occasionally sets it on fire by accident. She's a disaster, but she's our disaster.